Hey, yeah, so my Instagram is flooded with peptide propaganda, and I really want to take looks maxing naturally. I want to do it naturally, right? I don't want to have to attribute or credit anything else rather than my own efforts. So I'm really scared of like doing any peptides or things like that, or hopping on any roids, even though, I joke about it all the fucking time. There's no way my parents will allow me to get on roids. And even if, I don't even think it's important enough for me to go against their word and hop on something purely for vanity, even though life is already alright in of itself. So I want to take looks maxing seriously. I don't want to do it, add any funny things where I have to inject myself, even though, sure, things like the COVID vaccine, I've already injected myself with things that could have potential long-term effects without me knowing about it. But yeah, I'm just not going to take the unnecessary risk, and I don't want unnecessary liabilities and dependencies in my life. So, you know what? I want to take it naturally, and I want to see how far I can take it. I want to see how good it can get naturally by just focusing on the fundamentals and just focusing on whatever options there are out there that doesn't involve funny things like roids and peptides and injecting your face and doing surgeries and things like that, and just see how far I can go. And if I'm able to look much better, I'm able to inspire people to not use these kinds of funny things that could have long-term effects, or could build the momentum of investing in random things just for vanity and making random sacrifices just for vanity. So the past 2 weeks I've been taking looks maxing naturally very, very seriously, and I came back from China recently, like about 2-3 weeks ago. I think it's a little bit longer than that now. I was fat, I was bloated as hell. I was about maybe 105 kg because it took me a whole week before I actually stepped on the scale and realized I was 104.7. So right after China, I should have been maybe 108, because I went through a whole fucking week of full-on cardio and cutting and a high calorie deficit. So I was probably way heavier before that and way fatter. Then after I cut all of that down, I learned some different debloating techniques and fixed my sleep and continued my training and doing cardio every single day. I managed to debloat my face and get a little bit of my abs back in just 2 weeks. So I'm going to be trying a lot of different things like thumb pulling, where you like kind of push your pellet out. I'm going to be trying chin tucks for my posture, training my neck so that I improve my fascia and all that, which is this connective tissue that goes around your body. And after, focusing on looks maxing, surprisingly, I've been feeling healthier, feeling better. My body works more cohesively, and I think that is because of training the fascia, which is the connective tissue, which you do by doing different kinds of lymphatic releases, like different kinds of massages and stretching some things, strengthening some things. So I just want to see how far I can go. The exact way I made this 2-week transformation, this really quick one, is basically every single day I ate completely clean, which everybody knows about anyways. You don't want any processed foods or any funny caloric drinks. You don't want anything with a shit ton of chemicals, even though it might be 0 calorie and things like that. It could lead to gut inflammation and bloat. So we can go into each chemical one by one, or we can just avoid it entirely. Of course, if you're somebody who really struggles with a sugar craving, then Coke Zero and things like that, even though they are flooded with chemicals and could lead to more bloating and could lead to indigestion and things like that, it is arguable that since they are carbonated drinks, they keep you full. Since they are sweet, even though it's artificial sugar, it is fine to take them since they are of no calorie and can really be a useful tool for you when you're trying to lose weight. But I feel that if we want to be absolutely healthy, it is best for us to cut out all these things, even if they're 0 calorie or not. Because the shit ton of processed ingredients probably could cause some sort of hormonal imbalance or some random thing just because it is unnatural and something that we don't fully understand yet. We don't have a long enough time horizon to really look at these things and understand that they are completely safe. And of course, sure, if it's a tool to lose weight, absolutely go ahead. But if you're somebody who's already decently healthy and you don't really need that dependency, why not do something that is even better than what you're doing right now? It doesn't even taste that good anyway. And it only tastes good because, you allow yourself to continue to consume it. But when you stop taking it for a while, when you stop drinking things like Coke Zero or artificial drinks for a while, you start to find it you start to find the taste extremely odd after maybe a week or two of abstinence. What else I did was make sure that I drank a shit ton of water because I hopped back on creatine. You know, you need a fuck ton of water, so expect to drink maybe 1.5 to 2 times the amount of water you normally intake because, you know, it holds a lot of water into our muscles when we take creatine. So you want to be really, really careful with the water you're drinking. If you are eating enough potassium and keeping your sodiums very, very low, but you still feel bloated, it's probably because you're not drinking enough water. Either that or you have consumed way too much potassium, but that is really hard to do. Your potassium to sodium ratio should be at least 2 times. So if you're consuming 2,000 milligrams of sodium a day, you better be consuming 4,000 milligrams of potassium. If not, you're going to be bloated. Of course, you can go a little bit below that in terms of potassium, but hey, you know, to be safe, just consume as much fruits and vegetables as possible and drink as much coconut juice as you want. If you go too far the other way, you could bloat as well, but that's a little bit hard to do. And most people consume a fuck ton of sodium per day because they eat so much processed foods. Yeah, the thing with processed foods, the thing with those things with a fuck ton of chemicals in it is that they have a fuck ton of sodium as well. So because sodium is something that has like kind of no calorie, people don't really bat an eye to it, but it can lead to a lot of funny shit. And it's best for us to try to keep it as low as we can while, you know, making food still tastes pretty damn good. Keep it to a low amount and then you just up your potassium and it should be fine. There's nothing much to think about except, alright, let me just halve my sodium on everything. And the next thing you want to do is sweat. When you do cardio, it's not necessarily just the calorie burn itself that's amazing for you. It's just the sweating. You know, it's amazing for debloating if you want to look good. But in of itself, if you're just doing strength training, that's pretty solid already. But if you want something extra, if you want to look better and debloat consistently each day, especially if you are, you know, addicted to sodium and you keep consuming it, just do a fuck ton of cardio. Personally, for me, I did a daily 15% incline, which is basically the max incline on the treadmill, and then I'll do it for around 4.6 kilometers per hour and walk for about 30 minutes. And because I'm like 100 plus kg, I burn about 450 calories each time. And that's pretty damn solid. And I'll normally do it at night because I wouldn't get hungry afterwards since I have to sleep. So after I've eaten everything, the walk helps me digest and helps me sweat everything out for the next day. So I'll look good in the morning, I'll be debloated. But you can also choose to do it in the morning because then you can get sunlight, then you can kind of warm up your body for the rest of the day. But it's kind of a pain in the ass because it's a hassle, right? We need to shower and then, you know, carry on with our day, or we need to get ourselves ready, go over to the gym, come back, shower, which kind of hassle because I like to train in the afternoon, so I'll end up going to the gym twice a day. So just do whatever is the most convenient for you, the most comfortable, feels the best, and you're set. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it up and keep cutting down. I want to hit 10% body fat. If you wish to learn how to debloat, you can join my community. Link is in the description below. And I teach you everything I know. So yeah, stay tuned. Let's see what happens when I hit 10% body fat. Maybe I'll levitate and all the girls will fall into my lap. I'll see you tomorrow. Sabato.